We've got to talk about the chaos that is Chelsea Football Club, a club that has become almost unrecognizable from what it was almost 3 years ago under Roman Abramovich. They have completely and utterly ditched their identity and ditched all the principles that Chelsea Football Club was built on just over a few years ago. They are unrecognizable, and I feel sorry for Chelsea fans. They probably feel so disenchanted and demotivated with their club at the moment and disassociated emotionally, because I know I would. I would not be emotionally invested or excited or optimistic about Chelsea at all. There are no positive emotions. And even if you are drinking the Kool-Aid, even if you are somebody that genuinely believes in this rebuild under Todd Boehly, and your logic is we're signing young players who are going to mature together, develop together, and there's going to be this beautiful romantic story under Enzo Maresca where we eventually are ready to challenge for a title in 4 or 5 years' time, explain this to me then. Why do you need 9 goalkeepers for that? It makes no sense. Now, on Transfer Market, you'll see that there's 7 goalkeepers listed there, but that's excluding a goalkeeper they've signed in the last 24 hours in Mike Penders and another one that they're going to sign. 20 million, by the way, for a keeper who's going nowhere near the starting 11 and most certainly will be going out on loan and playing his football elsewhere. Explain that one to me then. How does that make any sense at all? And Chelsea aren't just doing this in the goalkeeper position. They're doing this everywhere across the pitch. They've signed a number of young players who nobody knows who they are. Nobody knows how good they are. Nobody knows what their potential is. And we're probably never going to see them actually play in the Premier League in a Chelsea shirt. They're probably just going to get sold after a series of loans. It seems like Chelsea are going down this road of pure profit, and they are genuinely just trying to sell to buy, or buy to sell rather, pardon me, the other way around. And that in and of itself is not a terrible thing. There are many selling clubs who are very important to the ecosystem and the landscape of football. The ones that come to mind, Ajax, Borussia Dortmund, Brighton. You know, there's so many clubs who are quote unquote selling clubs who football needs because they produce the world's stars. They produce the world's talent. They give players a platform to step up, show what they're capable of, and then earn a big move later on to another club. And they help themselves in the process because they become profitable and sustainable. But for a club the size of Chelsea, who has so much wealth and money that they can leverage to win trophies, they don't need to be a selling club. At least not to this extent. Not to the extent where you're signing the world's kids for 180, 190 million euros that they spent this summer? Because on Transfer Market, these signings that have been listed here all add up to 129 million euros, but that's excluding the signings that Chelsea have made in the last week, because they're not official, they're not over the line yet, so they haven't been added as official Chelsea players to the website, but they will be over the next few days, and they will most certainly cross the 189 million mark in terms of money spent in euros this summer. That's insane. How do you spend 189 million euros in a summer and not get better as a team? How do you spend 189 million euros on players who, majority of them, are just going to go out on loan and play for someone else? That makes no logical sense. And when you couple it with the fact that they've signed an inexperienced manager, relatively inexperienced at the top level, for a club the size of Chelsea anyways, in Enzo Maresca, there is just so many red flags with Chelsea. There are so many red flags. And I can't fathom a world in which this ends well for Chelsea long term. Even short term, I can't fathom a world where it ends well. I can't fathom a world where Chelsea Football Club are actually a serious football club and actually win major honours anytime soon. And that's not me being a Manchester United fan and hating. That's not me being a salty rival. That's just me being an honest football fan. I feel sympathy for Chelsea fans. I feel sympathy for Chelsea Football Club because they have been messed up by these mercenaries, these billionaires who don't care about the ethos, the culture, the winning traditions of Chelsea Football Club. That's what this is really about. Rivalries aside, that's what this is really about. I don't like to see football clubs get ruined by these businessmen who don't really have interest in the game and don't care about the fans. And there's been a lot of off-field stuff, like them raising the ticket prices for certain sections of the stadium to exorbitant amounts, which is absurd, especially when you're going to make people watch kids. You're not going to see any armpits at the end of the season, any confetti, any trophies. That's ludicrous. There's a lot going wrong at Chelsea Football Club, and honestly, what a time it is to be a Chelsea fan. What a miserable time it is. I just don't get it. I honestly don't get it, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. How long do you think Enzo Maresca is going to get given as Chelsea manager? Do you think they're going to back him? Do you think Chelsea fans, more importantly, forget the board, forget Clear Lake, do you think Chelsea fans are actually going to be patient with this guy? I don't think so. I think he's just going to get sacked. like every Chelsea manager before, he's just going to get sacked. And what, this is their fifth manager of this project, because they had Graham Potter, they had Thomas Tuchel, Frank Lampard, I believe, what's his name? Pochettino as well, who only lasted a year or a season, just about. This is what Chelsea do. And I don't see Maresca getting the time that he needs to actually build an environment that is conducive to the development and success of these young players. And that's another thing with Chelsea. This strategy would make sense if they signed more experienced players and they had a balanced dressing room, right? If you want to sign young players and your ethos and your idea and your principle, your vision, whatever you want to call it, is to develop them and build a team that's ready to challenge for major honors 4 years from now, you need to have an environment that's conducive to their development. There needs to be players in that dressing room that these young players can look up to and say, hey, I want to be like him. And I know that when I'm having a bad game, he's going to put his arm around my shoulder and give me advice. He's going to give me tips. I know that the members of the coaching staff who've been here for a while and have actually built a good rapport with the fans and a good rapport with these experienced players, they've got my back. And I know that there's not going to be a new coach in 18 months and a new style of play in 18 months. And we're not going to go in a completely different direction to the one we're already on. And I know that if I sign a new contract, the board is actually going to deliver on the promises that were made to me. And we're not going to go in a completely new direction 12 months into my new contract. These things matter. The chaos off the pitch at Chelsea Football Club is going to filter into, it's going to manifest onto the football pitch as it already has. And the chaos will continue. That's all I see in Chelsea Football Club's future, at least short term to medium term anyways. But it's been your boy Triple M. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Leave a like if you want to support the channel. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. And as usual, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this video. Peace!